Hey guys, A4Monkey, and today I'm coming back to you guys with the new episode of Fun Game I Beat. For those of you who don't know, this is a show where I play a game, I beat it, and I just want to sit down for a little bit and talk about it, talk about my opinion about the game, what I think about the game, and my impression of the game. So today I want to talk about Spoiler Alert. So Spoiler Alert is a reverse platformer type of game, if that makes sense. So in most platformer, you play, you jump, right? Jumping is the biggest part of any platformer game. That's kind of their characteristic. If you want to be a platformer game, you need to be able to jump in that type of game. However, this is a reverse platformer. So instead of jumping on enemy to kill them, you jumping on enemy to unkill them. So the game play everything backward. So instead of jumping on enemy, the time is rewinding, so you want to undo the event that you have done. It's actually really innovative, really fun, and really interesting, because you start off the game with killing the last boss of the game. Saving the princess is the first thing you undo. So it's kind of funny. It is very meta in terms of it re-examine a lot of other platformer game, and it kind of like look at it and go, okay, so these are how most platformer game work, and it's in many way a parody of that, but at the same time it's also kind of have its own element and stuff like that as well. The game is very simplistic, which is to say the graphic is kind of meh, the design is kind of meh, and the execution is also sometimes hit or miss. So I wouldn't say it's the most precise platformer game. It's very simple. You hit jump, your character jump, you hold longer, you jump higher, and that's kind of like the idea. Jumping, when I say jumping, I mean unjumping. Like it's the fact that the concept is so cool, make it so that everything, even though it seems simplistic and it doesn't seem too well realized, it can still feel pretty refreshing, because it's kind of like a spin on a genre that we all know and love. It also have a really cool meta storytelling perspective. It's very self-aware. It knows kind of like the kind of audience who are playing this type of game, and it poke fun a lot of other platformer games. So it's really cute in that way. It's very cute when it try to poke fun of other game while also doing kind of like the same stuff. Because you essentially are jumping enemy. It's just you're doing it backward. But it's still kind of cool, it's still kind of funny, and every time you unkill an enemy, it always brings a smile on my face, especially one of those, there's a lot of penguin. When you unkill a penguin, they, when they were killed, they look like a squash thing, right? And you're like, what the hell is this? So the time rewind, you step on it, and it come back alive, right? And you see them walking around, and they're just a little penguin kind of walk around. It's like, yeah, it's kind of charming, because in most of those games you're kind of a monster, right? You go in, you kill every monster, you advance to the next level, right? If you think about that in that way, Super Mario is kind of like a jackass, right? He go in and he step on all these Goomba and kill all these guys, and torture all these animals to save his princess. So in this game, it make me smile, because, well, you are not hurting anything. In fact, you're doing the opposite of that. And you also need to uncollect coin. If the coin is shown that you already collected, you have to uncollect it. But if it's a coin that you didn't collect, you have to avoid it, because you didn't collect in the first place. So if you collect something, you need to uncollect it. If you didn't collect something, then you have to avoid it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like, okay, it gives you more obstacle, and it make you think, right? When you see a coin, you're like, oh wait, normally you would pick it up, but in this case you want to unpick it. So basically you want to avoid it. You don't want to pick it, and the coin you already picked, now you have to return it. So it's kind of funny. And you also have to suck up fireball, which is kind of funny, because there is this power up that let you use fireball essentially, but when you use it on your character suck up the fireball instead, and you have to press it in time, so the fireball, instead of you shooting the fireball out, the fireball come back to you, so you have to suck it back up. So it's really funny. And you also have to unkill the boss, these are the most interesting one, because the boss are designed in kind of all different way, but you have to try to figure out how can you unkill the boss without collecting the coin. One of the boss, there is going to be a coin within the boss level, so at the same time as killing the boss, you also have to worry about not collecting the coin as well, because you weren't supposed to collect the coin, and you're kind of rewinding the time. It also have a really simple hand-drawn art style, very simplistic, but the fact that you're going backward make it more interesting. One of my favorite example, like I said, is stepping on the squash penguin. There's also a penguin that is a penguin robot. So when you unstep on it, it turns itself from a penguin into like a penguin robot thing. So it's super cute, super funny. And there's some enemy in like one of those Mexican hat. I don't know what it's called. I don't want to sound too racist because of my ignorance, but I don't know what you call that, but I see that in like a lot of movies and stuff like that, and it's usually associated with Mexican. So that's why I said I don't know if it's a Mexican hat or whether it is other type of hat. So I don't know. But it's funny, seeing Animal wearing that type of hat. So the music is simplistic as well. To be honest, I don't remember if this game have music. So that's right. When a game you play through a game and you don't realize if there is a music or not, you have to sometimes ask yourself a little bit whether that's good or not. There is a genre of music that is supposed to kind of blend in, right, without you knowing there's a music. But in this case, I would say the music is kind of jolly. It is a simple music, simple game, and the game is super short. You can beat it in 40 minutes. That's why I want to keep this episode as short as possible, because the time you take to watch through this episode might actually take it longer than playing the game. So I need to keep it short. If I can't make a 40-minute video about this game, because if I do that, then you might as well just play the game, because it takes as much time to beat it. It took for me 40 minutes, according to the Steam, when I finally beat it, and I died a couple times. I'm not the best player ever, so if you're really good at it, you probably can beat it in like 30 minutes and stuff like that. And it's a really fun, really engaging, really cool game. There's 3 chapters total. You go from 3 to 1, of course, because it is going backward. Get it? So yeah, it's charming. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I would say that's one of its greatest strengths. One of the biggest problems that the game is going to have is the refund system with Steam. Within 2 hours you can refund the game, and even I think about it, but then I'm like, I actually play the game. I like the game, and they serve exactly what they were promised. The game wasn't broken. I didn't have any crash. So I'm like, I would be an asshole if I redeem this to Steam, refund, because they serve me the product that I want. They didn't lie about it. The game is a little too short for my taste. I would obviously want more, but like it doesn't overstay its welcome. The game is designed well, and it's kind of simplistic, fun, and it's kind of charming. And maybe, who knows, I want to go back and maybe play it again. And the game, I got it for cheap as well. I got it on a sale and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I could get my money back, but like I would be an asshole to do that to the developer, especially when they make a good game. If a game crash, if a game doesn't support, for example, controller when I expect it to, if a game come out on certain platform and it supports controller and it doesn't support it on PC and stuff like that, or when it have crashing problem, those are the time I definitely going to use refund system. But in this case, I thought the game is great, it's fun, it's engaging, it's cool, it's simplistic, and it's jolly. I think jolly is probably the best word to describe this game. It's fun, little jolly game that is platformer. It's kind of nostalgic, but it makes fun of some of the old stuff, but it's cool in its own right. So that's my opinion. That's my thought on Spoiler Alert. I thought it was a fun game. If you haven't played it, you probably want to pick it up on discount, so I would recommend you add it to your wish list. I think is what it's called. Add it to your wish list on Steam. So basically when the game go on sale, you will know about it and you can pick it up. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you guys. Peace.